College athletes are finally getting paid, but who's really making the money? What if I told you? For decades, college athletes were part of a billion-dollar industry, and they weren't allowed to make a single dollar, not one. Meanwhile, everyone around them was getting rich. Coaches, schools, TV networks, sponsors, everyone was eating, except the players. Welcome back to Behind the Money, where we break down how the biggest systems in the world really make their money. And today we're talking about college sports. Because what's happening right now with NIL isn't just a rule change, it's a complete shift in power. Let's go back for a second. Before NIL, the system worked very differently. If you were a college athlete, you couldn't get paid. You couldn't sign endorsement deals. You couldn't profit off your own name. You couldn't even accept small gifts without risking your career. Even if your face was everywhere. Even if your jersey was being sold in stores. Even if your highlights were going viral. You made nothing. And to really understand how crazy that is, you have to look at the numbers. Because while athletes were making zero, the system around them was making billions. The NCAA alone was generating over $1 billion every year from March Madness. College football programs were bringing in 50 million, 100 million, even over $150 million per year. Stadiums packed with 80,000 fans, TV deals worth billions, merchandise flying off the shelves, and the players driving all of it. They weren't allowed to touch a dollar. And if you think that system stayed clean, it didn't. Because even though athletes weren't allowed to get paid, money was still moving, just quietly. Behind the scenes, big programs found ways to take care of top players. Cash in envelopes, free apartments, cars, boosters offering help. It wasn't legal, but it was happening. Because when winning means millions, rules start to bend, and what you ended up with was a system that rewarded the stars secretly and left everyone else with nothing. So while the NCAA said no payments, the reality was very different. It wasn't about fairness, it was about control. And at the same time, the money kept growing. Coaches were getting paid like CEOs. Top college football coaches were making $8 million, $10 million, even $12 million a year. Let that sink in. The people on the sidelines were making generational wealth, while the players risking their bodies got a scholarship and restrictions. That's when things started to change. Players spoke out, fans started questioning it, and eventually, the system had to break. In 2021, everything changed. NIL was introduced. Name, image, likeness. For the first time ever, college athletes could finally make money from being themselves, and almost overnight, the floodgates opened. Athletes could now sign endorsement deals, get paid for social media, partner with brands, appear in commercials, start businesses, and the numbers, they don't even feel real. Some college athletes are now making millions of dollars before they ever go pro. Top football players have NIL valuations over $5 million. Some basketball players are making over $4 million a year. There are dozens of college athletes making 7 figures. But here's the part most people don't realize. That's not everyone. The average Division I athlete makes around $20,000 a year from NIL, and only about 1% of athletes make more than $50,000. So what does that create? Two completely different realities. On one side, you have stars building wealth before they turn pro. On the other, you have athletes making small deals just to get by. And this is where the real business shows itself, because NIL isn't just about athletes getting paid, it's about who's paying them and why. Brands are investing in athletes for attention, boosters are creating collectives to attract talent, schools are benefiting from better recruits and more wins. Media companies are getting bigger audiences than ever. This isn't just sports anymore, it's an ecosystem. And it's not just football and basketball. Now you've got gymnasts, track athletes, volleyball players, and female athletes building massive brands. Some female athletes are making over $1 million from social media alone. But even now, the power is still concentrated. Over 60% of NIL money still goes to football and men's basketball. And the money? It keeps growing. NIL has already become a multi-billion-dollar industry. Over $1.6 billion flowing through it every year. And that number is only going up. And here's the craziest part. Some athletes are choosing to stay in college longer, because they're making more money in school than they would as rookies in professional leagues. But there's another side to this story that nobody really talks about, because once the money started flowing, a whole new set of problems showed up. Most of these athletes are young, 18, 19, 20 years old, now dealing with contracts, taxes, and business decisions. And the truth is, making money is one thing. Keeping it is another. Some athletes are signing deals they don't fully understand. Others are spending fast, because it's the first time they've ever had real money. And then there's taxes. A lot of NIL money is self-employment income, so if an athlete makes $100,000, they might owe $25,000 to $40,000 in taxes later, and if they're not prepared, that money disappears. Then come the agents, managers, marketing teams. Everyone wants a percentage. 10%, 20%, sometimes more. So that big deal, it's not always what it looks like, and now there's pressure, because it's not just about playing well anymore. It's about building a brand, posting content, staying relevant. College athletes are no longer just athletes, they're businesses, and not everyone can handle that. Some thrive, others struggle. So while NIL created opportunity, it also created responsibility and risk. Because now the game isn't just played on the court, it's played in contracts, in branding, in money decisions. And the athletes who understand that, they're not just playing the game, they're building a future. But this brings up a bigger question. If athletes are finally getting paid, and schools are still making billions, and brands are making millions off attention, then who is really winning? Because NIL didn't just fix the system, it exposed it. College sports was never just about education, it was always about business. The only difference now, the players are finally getting a piece. But is this just the beginning, or is an even bigger shift coming next? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment below, because on this channel, we don't just watch the game, we break down the money behind it. And trust me, this is just the start. Make video 9 minutes and 15 seconds, no shorter.